Hi guys, it's your Malay, girl from around the way. We have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I am back with a video about the mother of blues, better known as Ma Rainey from Columbus, Georgia, who was one of the first sensationalized recording artists that came and emerged from the early 1920s. Now, of course, Netflix recently released Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is an adaptation of the play by August Wilson. This movie gives us all a chance to connect and honor the life of Ma, who was heavily revered by the Black community, but was somehow forgotten. But we don't even need to get into all of that because it seems like so many of our greats tend to be, somehow left in the shadows. We don't even want to talk about how or why because her moment is here and it's well deserved. Watching this film on Netflix will be the first time we're introduced to Ma Rainey and her story. Some of y'all, though, might remember watching the movie Bessie with Queen Latifah, and Ma Rainey was played by Monique. The movie came out in 2015. It was, on HBO or something like that. Two things. One, I'm a huge fan of Monique, okay, because I love us for real, all right? And two, Bessie, if you guys remember that movie, she was already such a headstrong character, and it was a part of the movie when Bessie was some kind of like taking counsel from Ma Rainey, and it made me interested in this character because she, like I said, she was already a strong-headed woman who was a millionaire at the time, and it made me curious to see who this character was. So down the rabbit hole I went. To my delight, I heard about the Netflix movie starring Miss Viola Davis and the late Chadwick Boseman, and I really just couldn't be more excited. So here I am with a quick little video, okay, a little yang around the house to celebrate and to just honor and respect the life of Ma Rainey. Sidebar, is it me or does it seem like we are learning a lot about our historical greats through film and media this year? Like, I know that the C virus has really kind of gotten everybody, watching more content than ever before. But I just feel like we always consume like our historical figures through way of media. Like, why aren't we taught some of this stuff? Like, I really did not know about a lot of people until I actually, saw something in the movie that piqued my interest, that made me do my own research, or two, like, something came out that was really just completely wrong, and then again it still piqued my interest, that made me want to do my own research. I know I'm not the only one. Can someone speak to that in the comments? I know I cannot be the only one that's feeling like that. Anyways, Ma Rainey was born April 26, 1886, which makes her a Taurus. My good sis is a Taurus, and one thing we know about the Taurus, they will get to the bag, okay? Determination vibes, you get what I'm saying? Wait, April 26th, she might be an Aries Taurus cusp, I'm thinking. She might be, which would make sense for this big personality and, grandiose type of character that we have in Ma Rainey. Girl, stay on track. Here I go, y'all. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, please. Thank you. Appreciate you. Ma Rainey was born in Columbus, Georgia, being the first generation not born into slavery. She was the second child of 5, and I can imagine life being extremely difficult, seeing as how her parents were once slaves in Alabama, who I'm guessing eventually moved to Georgia, possibly as sharecroppers, once they were actually given their freedom. But like most little Black girls, Gertrude got her start in stardom at a local community talent show. I mean, it's safe to say that most people were working extremely hard, post-slavery era. And I can just imagine after a hard, long week of the hustle and bustle, Black people coming together to congregate something, for reasons to socialize and just for leisure, maybe outside of church. Maybe the churches were the one who were holding it, but it was common for Blacks to come together and congregate during these time frames, just to kind of let a load off, so to speak. Sometime after her, talent show between 12 and 14, she met her husband, William Rainey, at the age of 18. The couple formed the Alabama Funmakers Company, where they were pretty much performing like a minstrel show. However, the couple quickly joined the Rabbit Foot Company, who were more popular, more successful, which probably resulted in a little bit more coin, and there they were dubbed Ma and Pa Rainey. And it was there that they were dubbed Ma and Pa Rainey. In the beginning stages of their time at the Rabbit Foot Company, Ma pretty much served as a cakewalker, which I'll tell you guys, is pretty much a dance that originated, you know, or I guess I should say originally performed by slaves on the plantation ground as the masters being the judges. And essentially what the slaves would do is they would couple up, man and woman, and they would do it in the formation of a square, and as the music would play, they would dance, but sort of like in the mannerisms of like their white slave masters, with their chest kind of high, kicking their legs were high, pretty much mocking them to see who was the closest um, person to kind of look like the white slave masters would actually win the prize. And the prize was a highly decorated cake. Okay, so this is where we get the term like who takes the cake, because it was them. It stems from this dance, cake walking or prize walking. You know, in the minstrel show, the men would only be exclusively doing the cakewalk, but then eventually they allowed the women to go into the cakewalking, which to me blew my mind. Very weird. She also performed as a Jubilee and coon shouter. I don't even want to go off on a rant because I can, but I won't. But right here is the time that I'm triggered too, but I'm just going to contain myself because I don't want this video to be too long. In short, she was singing a coon song and a coon minstrel show. It's like, nah, let me be serious. Ma Rainey stayed with the company after it got a new owner and all of this and all of that. Shortly after being kind of sold on singing the blues and just getting tired of them old jigaboo songs, and not to mention being like, you know, a little bit ahead of the curve, like she started getting popularity with singing blues. She also was known to have a really great, beautiful voice. It was then that she was no longer doing the cakewalks and the jigaboos and the coon trotters, and then that's when she started going by Rainey and Rainey, the assassinators, okay, of the blues. All right, get into it. Get into it. That has a ring to it to this day, okay? And the rest is history. That's so corny. Like, literally the rest is history, but like y'all get what I'm saying. People also were becoming less interested in live minstrel shows with the new technology of the vinyl records and the sonograph, pretty much making those kind of like obsolete. I think this happened around the late 1920s, which is around about the time she was emerging as this blues singer. Until Ma Rainey, Mamie Smith was the only black woman to have a record, and people started seeing the demand of what they were calling race records in the music industry. Okay, hell, that's true till today, because obviously we're the tastemakers. Okay, let's not make a mistake about that. Ma Rainey was approached, I will not use the word discovered, by a producer, J. Mayo Williams. He was known by Ink. He was one of the first black men to kind of have skin in the game in relation to these so-called race records, and they put him as a head of Paramount Records, who, you know, saw an opportunity and capitalized on it. Because let me just tell you this, Paramount was originally a furniture company. Catch that tea. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they saw an opportunity, they saw a need with these race records and, you know, the Negro sound and all of these things, and they was like, bump these chairs, we about to go sell these records. And I just, girl, these white work, I'm just not. They pretty much understood and knew that with all of the new technology emerging in the late 1920s between the vinyls and this and the third, like, listen, we ain't finna be making these old chairs. These chairs is tired. We about to sell us some records, okay? Some race records. And that's exactly what they did, y'all. You know, adaptability, but to whose expense? But either way, I'm not going to do that. I digress. I am not going to do that. Stay on track. While at Paramount, she ended up recording 100 songs within a 5-year time span, which to me, by, you know, I'm no musician. I'm not in the studio, although I will drop some beats. Y'all don't even know where that's from.
Well, Candy, why don't you check around Puerto Rico and see if there's a studio we can go drop some beats.
No, it just sounds like a lot of records to me to begin with, even to this day. Considering the fact that she was actually writing her music, catch that, because a lot of artists don't even write their music nowadays. Some of her most notable songs include, obviously, Ma Rainey, you know, Black Bottom, which actually was a form of a dance. It was kind of like, you know, how you hit the whoa, you know, a black bottom was an actual dance. Maybe I can insert some clips somewhere. The Boll Weevil Blues, which the boll weevil was a bug. It's like a beetle that came from Mexico and caused a really bad infestation and devastation to a lot of southern planters, because these boll weevil bugs or beetles fed off of flowers and cotton. So, you know, they pretty much came and debilitated those plantation owners' cotton coin. All right. And of course, Prove It On Me Blues, which she details her, you know, late night going out to the club with her lady lover type of situation. And although I think those lyrics kind of went over the head of a lot of people, she was still really just ahead of her time. I'd like to say she was a precursor to the LGBTQ movement that we even have today. She was singing about, you know, she was singing about what it was about, okay, before the term gay even meant gay as we know it today. So put some respect on her name. And I do also want to mention again that all of her music was written by her. Now, of course, she worked with other musicians and stuff like that. And, you know, musicians need one another. Composers come with melodies. You know, guitarists come with this and that. You know what I'm trying to say. But when you are actually writing your work, it just feels so differently. And I urge you all to go stream some of her music, man. It's kind of just like, it takes you back to the late 1920s. Not like we really want to be there, but y'all get what I'm saying. During her time as a performer, she met many other musicians while, you know, traveling the states. Some artists include, you know, Louis Armstrong, Pops Foster, and most notably Bessie Smith, who Ma Rainey dubbed in as a mentor, sort of influencer over Bessie Smith's life and career. Which we all know that Bessie was an outwardly homosexual woman. You know, there's rumors in the mill about them having some sort of affair, or even like there was a time that Ma was allegedly involved in a orgy in her apartment, which caused her to get arrested. You know, funny enough, back in those days, you could be arrested for who you were actually sleeping with in your bed. So crazy stuff, I know. I'm really interested in seeing how this movie plays out, how they're going to roll it out on December 18th. I think it's great that we're getting so much content that we want to see. And with heavy hitters like Viola Davis, Denzel, Chadwick Boseman, like, I am expecting to, one, be entertained, two, be moved, because Viola is just prolific. Really, she's iconic. And I'm just really interested in learning more about Ma Rainey's story and her legacy, because again, why wouldn't you hear about her before? Everyone has been singing their praises since the beginning of production of how well this project is going to be. So I am really interested. Hopefully you guys give me a big thumbs up on this video. Share if you care. Make sure you subscribe. I will be reviewing this, so make sure you check out my review as well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.